Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam, and I am incredibly late. There's a little indie film coming out at the end of the month called The Rise of Skywalker. I'm not sure if you all have heard of it, but there were a lot of movies leading up to this one, and I've only covered 2 of them. So I've decided that for the rest of the month, I'm just going to dedicate all my time on this channel to reviewing all of those movies, at least the ones I haven't covered already. And if any of you are interested in the newer releases this week, I liked Dark Waters. It was really well acted. I give it a great rating. And I am not seeing Playmobil the movie because even I have standards. With that out of the way, let's talk about some Star Wars. Starting with Star Wars The Clone Wars. This was an animated movie released in 2008, and it was written and directed by Dave Filoni. I'm not sure if you've heard of him, but he's working on only the hottest TV show in the world right now. And it tells the story of Anakin and his new Padawan, Ahsoka Tano, who must rescue Jabba the Hutt's young son and return him to Jabba while fending off the advances of Count Dooku and his new protege, Asajj Ventress. I've seen a lot of crap shoved in the direction of this movie. Ever since this movie came out, it was always regarded as the black sheep. Nobody liked this movie. Well, no one except for me. I've always had a soft spot for this movie. And yes, a lot of people have said, well, this movie's basically just 3 episodes of the TV show just crunched into feature length. I don't really see that as a problem. Is this the best Star Wars movie? No, not by a country mile. But I do still appreciate this movie for a lot of reasons, starting with the animation. The animation in this movie and the Clone Wars series that came after was just excellent. One of the things that I loved about the Star Wars prequels was that it introduced new worlds like Naboo and Coruscant. And there's a new world on here called Christophsis, which it basically looks like it's made out of Tetris tiles, but in the best way possible. But I also really love the voice acting, because the voice acting in this movie is really, really good. Matt Lanter, who voices Anakin Skywalker, to me is even more of an Anakin Skywalker than the actual Anakin Skywalker. Similar to how people view Kevin Conroy as their Batman over, say, Michael Keaton or Christian Bale, I view Matt Lanter as my Anakin Skywalker. He basically retains all of the badassness of Anakin Skywalker without any hatred for a certain substance. If you were to track the evolution of Anakin Skywalker from a young boy on Tatooine to the height of his Jedi powers, this would be the final form. But James Arnold Taylor does a great job playing ObiWan. ObiWan to me will always be either Sir Alec Guinness or Ewan McGregor, but James Arnold Taylor does a really good job as well. He retains a lot of the cool-headedness that is associated with Obi-Wan, but he also has the one-liners too. The on-screen chemistry between Anakin and Obi-Wan is rare, at least in this movie, but when they are on screen, I was having a great time with it. But this movie is not perfect, and yeah, there's a couple things that I didn't like about this. First thing is the baby Hutt. Now, thankfully, the baby Huttlet does not have a ton of dialogue. As a matter of fact, I don't think he has any dialogue. But yeah, they make a lot of comments about how much he stinks. As a matter of fact, Ahsoka Tano even nicknames him Stinky. Yes, that is a thing. Although George Lucas didn't have any involvement in the writing or directing, he was a producer, and unfortunately, I have a feeling that he had to have some role in putting that in there. Thankfully, it's not like a Jar Jar situation where it's just a nuisance for the sake of being a nuisance, and Jabba's son was there for a reason, so I guess I can kind of understand it in that regard. Still, it was clearly there meant to appeal to kids, and it showed. And then we have Ahsoka Tano. Now, let me preface this by saying that Ahsoka Tano is a badass. She really is. She becomes a great Jedi and it was awful what happened to her at the end of the Clone Wars TV show. But she becomes a badass in said TV show and in Star Wars Rebels and in the book Ahsoka. That is where she becomes a badass. In this movie, she is a whiny teenager. Some of the lines she says in this movie are just like, oh man, oh. Thank God you get badass in the future. It wasn't a great annoyance. Again, we're not talking about like a Jar Jar situation. I wasn't like cursing the screen like, please leave now. But it was clear that they were positioning her to be like an edgy teenager, and it got very grating after a while. But at the end of the day, I still really like this movie, and I'm going to give it a great rating. Yes, this is very much 3 episodes of the TV show crunched together into one movie. Yes, this was clearly meant to sell the upcoming TV show. But you know what? I don't care about that. I really love this movie, and I think it's really good. Again, this isn't the best Star Wars movie ever. Empire Strikes Back takes that crown. However, it has great animation, great characters for the most part, great action, and overall, I watched this movie in preparation for the review for the first time in several years, and I was left very satisfied. But that is all for me, guys. Thank you so much as always for watching. I've got a lot of Star Wars left to cover, so I'm going to keep the ending brief. My name is Ryan Cam, and I'll see you in the next one.